This is the record industry. I took Jay-Z and shopped him to every single label, and they all said no. I had to do it myself. Either he was too old, he rapped too fast, they just didn't have it. So we were like, we'll do it ourselves. The reason why Roc-A-Fella was good, the reason why I did what I had to do was because I knew how to have a clear dream without anyone obstructing it. I knew how to visualize winning. So if somebody told me, you can't do that because of this, get out my dream. Because that's not the last thought I'm gonna have with my dream, because my mind is powerful. And whatever I see in my mind, I can make happen. If I didn't create Roc-A-Fella, there would be no Jay-Z as a rapper, successful at all. If I didn't take the time to make sure that I fought for him, because he wasn't doing that for himself. He did not create Roc-A-Fella or the infrastructure that came with it. And I'm not knocking him for it. I'm just saying that wasn't his superpower. You understand? So that's why he got with a Dame Dash and then, you know, tried to be a Dame Dash.
Nobody wanted Jay-Z, not Atlantic, not Capitol. Every major door in New York City closed on Sean Carter, so three men built their own label from scratch. No industry connections, no safety net, nothing but a plan. Dame Dash, Biggs, and Jay-Z, they called it Roc-A-Fella Records.
Old Dame Dash, Jay-Z feud, you know, that's been out for a long time. I know you spoke on it before, but what is the, I mean, where did this come from? And what is the status of it?
Well, if you see
So that's the thing. Remember when I said before, people been telling me I'm not a superhero, and I know I am, right? Because to them, it's superhero shit. It's a dream that they can't come true for them. You feel me? I guarantee you, if you came with that idea to certain people, they'd say, give you 30 reasons why you can't do it.
By 1999, their Hard Knock Life tour grossed $19 million.
Check it out, children. Hey yo, as soon as I grab it, I eat it up like a savage. And no, I don't have it, I get it together like a marriage. I'm singing on rappers, I'm on my P's and Q's and carrots. You don't understand? Well, goddamn, don't y'all know my status? I got my hand on your throat and my eye on your girl. Jay-Z the greatest niggas back and I shook up the world. I light up the spot like a glow in the dark clock. My job is done. Peace, I'm back to the block.
Kanye West signed there. Beanie Sigel, Cam, State Property. Rocawear was moving product worldwide. Three men built an empire from nothing.
Yeah, y'all, this is Dame Dash from Roc-A-Fella Records, and who we with?
Jay-Z in the house, yo.
All right, come on, we about
That was
to...
like a routine, yo.
No doubt, like it works right, too. Yeah,
About to
anyway.
go to some football.
Some football, we about to do a Roc-A-Fella style. We got the Roc-A-Fella kittens.
Yeah.
We got the Roc-A-Fella crew. We're going to show you how we play Roc-A-Fella football. It's all good.
Right.
You know?
Then we're going to come back, get into some videos from Maze, yours truly.
Yeah.
Right now, we're going to roll into a little something from me. It's videos from the new album, In My Lifetime. We'll pick that up if you there.
November.
Don't do that.
All right.
The clip was directed by Hype Williams, featuring cameos, Babyface, my girl Fox. You know, Sunshine, yo. Sunshine.
I was in it, too.
Let's get into it, yo.
You ready, Boogie?
On yo. All right, this is the part where we run off and
Yeah.
Let's check it out.
Let's go. Football!
This is the story of what happened next, and only one of them walked out with everything.
Y'all better stop f***ing with me. Y'all gonna get your man in some trouble, I'm telling you.
Before the business, we need to talk about a courthouse in Philadelphia, because what happened inside that building tells you everything about how this story ends.
Get the f*** out, Randy Acker. That's why all artists kick your f***ing ass anyway.
Beans, one of the most respected lyricists in the rock history, the man Jay-Z personally signed because he believed in him.
I can't carry a pistol cause I got a scratch on my record. Now that mean I gotta walk around naked. To a nigga starving shit, I'm the perfect target. But you know your boy stay on point like an archer. Still circle the block before I park up. What's a nigga to do? Be a victim of a drive-by walk up. Let my blood stain the ground, let the rain wash the chalk up. Hallmark cars and teddy bears where niggas sparked up. Yeah, right, that's me. Had my face airbrushed on white tees in the memory of.
In 2003, Beans was on trial for attempted murder. 6 shots fired outside a Philadelphia bar. The man was hit twice.
I wasn't like, oh my God, I'm about to go. Like, I wasn't, shit, I'm going to jail. It's like, honestly, it's like, man, I was so fucking deeply and rooted in that lifestyle. It was just part of it. That's like a boxer, you know, going to the gym and he might get knocked out in sparring. That's part of it.
Conversations with myself is getting too frequent. These pussy boys trying to trick a nigga out his freedom. Thinking about my children got me at a stalemate. It's either live with my regrets or sell me. Cleanse my body, say a prayer, hoping for forgiveness. Lawyers retain. In this game, you can't afford a witness. Taking no chances, leaving nothing to cross-examine. Part of my manners, bananas, collateral damage. Niggas sleep, think it's sweet till my wrath is rain. Kill every male in his family, erase his last name. Then let the wolves have a way with his women. The pleasure of revenge with a wonderful feeling. Kick back from the morgue like I'm employed with them. Rubbing with them shoulders, boys that enjoy killing. Guns and straps, I rap about, I brought them out. I lay these niggas flat and let the devil sort them out.
Jay-Z came to Philadelphia to testify on his behalf. But here is where it gets complicated. Oskino, a state property rapper who was in that courtroom, described what he witnessed in a 2024 interview. The judge was asking one question. Are you willing to be responsible for this man? One word, yes. And Beanie Sigel potentially walks. Jay-Z said no.
Let me tell you what I saw, bro. I came to court for Beans, right? When he shot that, allegedly shot somebody. Jay-Z got on the stand. They said, yo, are you going to be responsible for him if we let you go? Jay-Z said, no.
Wait, nah. What year was this?
Bro, I was there. My son was little, so this is probably like early 2000s. Yeah, I was there. Listen, this ain't hearsay. This is me there in the courtroom.
So wait. The judge asked Jay-Z, would he be responsible for Beans?
Would you be responsible if we let him go today? Would you be responsible for him? He said no.
Is this before the success or is this after the Beans success?
He was Beans. He was already did the songs and all that. Yeah, it was success. Yeah, success already. And when I was just thinking, like, what do you come to court for then? If you're gonna say that, like, mind you, this is my thing. If I got a homie, all I gotta do is say I'm responsible for him to get out. I'm saying it every time because if he kills somebody, he can't charge me with it.
Now, Jay-Z's team called this story false. Joe Budden said he got a text from Jay saying it was cap. Oskino stood by every word and said there were 1 million people in that courtroom who heard it. In this video, you'll see both sides. You decide. What's not disputed is what Beans said himself.
Third bell hearing, everybody in the court, everybody come, family, the whole Roc-A-Fella staff. And I'm like, all right, I'm out of here. Put up all the cribs and all, because they don't care about no people. All assets. They was asking me about my jewelry. They wanted my jewelry. My jewelry, all my watches, get my shit appraised, the value for that, because that go towards it. I had to put up my house. I had to put up 20 other properties, all that shit just to get out on bail. So, they get up there, I got like 20 character witnesses. I break it down. I got all my staff and people that I employ and all this. So on my second bell here, I had went away to this little treatment program. No, it wasn't. That was my third. So the second joint, everybody come. And, everybody got up. They spoke very highly of me. And, they ran down everybody's credentials. And, I was on tour. So they were saying, they asked, they asked Jay. They was like, and I don't even think they said, would you be responsible? When they asked him, they wanted him to be responsible for my whereabouts. Not like he need to know where I'm at, but just get him the information. If I'm supposed to be in Chicago, we'll make sure he's in Chicago. So they just wanted the whole tour schedule.
Do you think he understood that? Do you think he understood it or he probably didn't understand it?
To me at that time, I don't care if you understood it or not.
That's your man.
If my man, this my man, this is my brother. I don't care what I got to say to get him out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They asked me, can I do 20 backflips? And I know I can't do a cartwheel. Yeah, I could do 50 of them. Mm-hmm. For him to come home.
I had to do that. I had to do that for him. I had to go in front of the judge and talk.
Yeah. And they asked him, they said, if I release him, she said, today, would you be responsible, for his whereabouts? And he said no.
Mm.
And he said it low. And the judge, this public record, man. All you gotta do is go get it. She asked him, she paused. When he said no, she was like, can you speak up in a microphone? And she was like, if we release him today, you know, in your custody to be able to go back on tour and this, that, and the third, would you be responsible? And he was like, no. And the whole courtroom went crazy. Dame snapping, Big snapping, niggas looking like, what? And she couldn't believe it. Bro, she asked him 4 times. And she said, so Mr. Carter, she was like, all these good things that you're saying about Mr. Sigel, and you're not willing to be. And he said, no. And it took everything in me. Not to, like I wanted to cry. It took everything in me not to drop a tear.
Beanie went to prison 1 year. He came home broke, and when he got home, 50 Cent was waiting with a life-changing offer, a full label deal, real money.
So, Beanie Sigel, Jay-Z thing.
Yeah.
Are you going at Jay-Z? I'm asking what other people are asking. Are you going at Jay-Z through Beanie?
Well, they always make these diabolical schemes. From 50's perspective, you know, I Beanie came by. Like I had previously spoke to Beanie while he was actually locked up. He did like a year and a day in the same federal penitentiary my uncle was in. So my uncle been down 16 years. So I stopped by to see him because I get him out of the jail. I free him. Every time I sit with him, he just goes in the 50 land. And he stays there until the next time I come back. You see what I mean? So when I walked into the jail, Beans had to feel that also because I was coming at a time where it's Give It to Die Trying, where I'm selling 12 million records and the hottest thing in hip hop at that point. And I'm shaking the building. So he goes, you know, you're gonna feel like, I'm gonna have Jay come see me. Because 50's down there coming to see someone else. I actually seen Dame once on the visiting floor going to see Beans. Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Did he go see Shine?
I didn't.
Oh.
But that's interesting.
I was just asking.
It's interesting missing Shine though because Jay went to see Shine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when he was entertaining the idea of signing that before Shine was deported.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? But he never actually went to see Beans. What he's doing is the traditional business model, but they were saying rock loud familiar. We family. Or Roc-A-Fella gang.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So they riding with him like this is my homie when he's doing the traditional business.
Straight
like
business,
Jimmy
not
don't
family.
say that this is the Interscope family. This is Interscope gang.
But wouldn't you do it the same way though, man? I mean, if you felt like there wasn't any marketing money, I mean, if there's any money for a particular artist that might be locked up. I mean, obviously Suge Knight did that thing with Pac. You know, and that's like the business model that everybody kind of looking at. Shine may be able to develop into something really big when he gets out. But, you know, after you see that there is no useful way of making money off an individual, would you take that business approach?
But look, that was after he went away for 10 years, y'all. That was a bigger risk. Beans, 1 year, you don't just forget how to rap in a year. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yo, I'll take that.
However, the rap game changes every year. And all of a sudden you got Soulja Boy, you know, and it's like, boom, you're sitting there going, oh, what the hell?
And what Soulja Boy does is an artist that's self-made. Produces his own record, writes his own verse, and puts it up on the internet and develops his own dance to it. And the kids go crazy for it. Beans went to Jay-Z first. He asked for one thing, his release from Def Jam, not from The Roc, just the label. Jay was the president, one phone call. Jay said no. The G-Unit deal disappeared. The label, the money, all of it, gone.
So you were about to sign Beanie. You wanted to sign Beanie.
Yeah.
And Jay wouldn't release him.
The same thing that happened with me.
The weekend show you want me to do?
So do you think, so Diddy supposedly really released him, but you think he really didn't release him, like he showed up at that Atlanta station and made him sign papers?
I'm not sure if he actually would do that. Right now,
But if he's not using them, like I'm
the
like,
Mason value is different now than it was at that point. You see what I'm saying? If you saw Mason on stage with 50 Cent on tour, and we on the world tour at that point, you look. I just gave him how much money? You know, I'm not letting him go because he just did that, like, got that money from me and then didn't cooperate.
But you think Jay maybe didn't let him go because he didn't want to let you have him? Maybe?
I think that had factored into it. Because that would be an indication to people away from it. See, me doing Mobb Deep and MOP was me changing the perception of G-Unit Records from 50 and his homeboys to G-Unit being a better option for hip-hop artists in general.
You know, so if he was actually losing things to that energy at that point, it would feel like he's going out of business and we're the new business to be in.
Like, I understand that transition into the corporate space, because I see them, like, Jimmy don't say, we family.
Yeah.
So I know that I got to be on my P's and Q's 24/7 with them, because if you no longer generating interest, there'll be that new thing.
Yeah.
That works, you know what I'm saying? But I say that.
Yeah.
You know, and because I say that, I make sure that they eat. Like, I make sure that their money
Yeah,
right. You know what I mean?
Like when the rebuttal with Jay-Z in his interview at Toronto, everything, like I'm saying, people think I'm just speaking out because I'm in the position that I am and I ain't putting no music out, whatever. Like, let's go to Jay-Z's rebuttal on the complaints to Beanie Sigel. You say, okay, I got a lot to complain about. I had 2 Bentleys.
Right.
I had a clothing line.
Right.
I had a record deal and a record label. Okay. The 2 Bentleys that I obtained, Jay-Z had nothing to do with them.
Right.
That was a car from Damon Dash and from Kareem Burke.
Right.
And how I obtained those 2 Bentleys was, people were sitting around, I'm listening to them talk millionaire talk. And Dame was saying something about, his Bentley, this, that, and the third. And I ain't gonna say no name, no blame. Was like, you drive your own Bentley? And it was like, they put him on the spot because the Maybach wasn't out. All the luxuries in the Bentleys is in the back.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh, I can't drive this no more. So he had the car for 2 months and it was sitting in his garage for like 3 months. So the car, I'm like, yo, what you gonna do with that car? You know what I mean? Because somebody said you drive your own Bentley, you don't want to drive it no more. So out of his arrogance, all I did was say, yo, like, what you gonna do with it? Let me buy it off you. Like, and I can pay it back through how I do it. But, I thought they copped the whole car as you should.
Right.
As they said, but that wasn't the case.
Wow.
It was a note on the car. So all I did was gave him half the money he put down on the car, which was nothing because he had A1 credit. I think he put down like $60,000 to obtain the $300 and something thousand car. So I gave him a check for $30,000, and I'm paying a car note for $2,200 a month.
Wow.
Now, a couple months later, I was like, Biggs, what you gonna do with that car? I wanted to, let me take the note over. I wanted to give it to, my mom or whatever. He like, you just got the Bentley from, dang, what you gonna do with 2 Bentleys?
Right.
So I blew it off. I think like 4 months later, it was my birthday. And we was at the studio. My mom came up, she cooked food for everybody. Dane, Jay, everybody ate. You know what I'm saying? And my mom said, let me hold the keys to your car. I want to go downstairs and do something before I leave. But she left with the car. So I'm like, yo, she took the car.
Yeah.
And Big said, happy birthday. Just pay the note. So the note was, I think, like $2,400. So Beanie Sigel was driving around in 2 Bentleys and only had to pay $5,100 a month. So it's not like I obtained all this wealth and I bought, like, you helped me get all this wealth and you gave me these 2 Bentleys.
And they just gave away the monthlies.
Yeah, they just gave away monthly plans. That's all they did. Now, so the issue about the Bentleys, you shot yourself in the foot with that. Talking about, like, now let's go to the record label I supposed to have. You didn't give me a record label.
Right.
All I did was, it only cost a couple $100 to search the name, State Property Records. Nobody owned it.
Right.
I think I paid a couple more $100 and I patented the LLC license company. So my record label only cost me $700 and I think like maybe $750 to say on a piece of paper that I own State Property Records, LLC. And I did that on my own. You didn't give me that.
Right.
And what artist was on that label? So what did you give me? The clothing line that I had. I had 20% of State Property Clothing. It's me, Jay, Dane, and the 2 other Russians that had the Rocawear on State Property because I gave them an idea, pitched it to Dane at the time because I saw him drawing close to me when him and Jay was going through their thing when Jay wasn't coming around. See, when the outside people started hearing about the rumors from the outside, that was already 2 and 3 years in the inside. And that was the reason, you know, why I did the thing with the Jadakiss thing. Because I'm thinking like, yo, they whispering back and forth with each other. They about to sell a company, about to break up. We got to do something.
Right.
So we got to make a mark. So my strategy was like, yo, Jadakiss and them coming at Jay, he ain't doing nothing. Let's ride on them.
Right.
Because we nobodies at the time. So if we ride on them, win, lose, or draw, we separate ourselves
from it, yeah.
From just being a part of Roc-A-Fella. Now we're state property.
Right.
And that's how that came. You didn't give me the movie. It was a guy from Philly who had a movie script. I ain't had the money to, you know, put out a movie. I brought him up to Roc. You know what I mean? Yo, he got a script. It's talking about some real stuff, but we got to switch it up because, you know, he was talking about the JBM, Aaron Jones and the people in there. So I just switched up names and all that because people got the pills and all that. You know what I mean? You didn't give me the movie. I brought that to you. I ain't see no money off of that. Wow. And even on the clothing line, I got the same reason why you and Dame broke up, Jay-Z, because he was taking all the money from Rocawear and putting it in all his other little companies. He did the same thing to state property.
Wow.
So my jail time that year that gave me a chance to sit back and relax was a blessing. Because if my man supposed to got me, he got me.
Beans had nowhere to go. Eventually, he was back in court. Tax evasion. $700,000 from his years with The Roc. 2 more years in prison. Christmas Eve, 2004. Jay-Z calls Dame Dash. Invites him to dinner at an upscale Italian restaurant in Manhattan. The kind of place where serious decisions get made and nobody raises their voice.
You already know.
This was the illest argument. Yo, everybody on the plane acted sleep, by the way, right?
It was everybody, too.
It was mad niggas on the plane.
Yeah, everybody was on the plane.
We playing spades.
You was snoring? We smoking weed. The pilot wanted to kick us off. We smoking.
Because I'm going to keep it 100. This is the first time
party
I was
plane.
on a
It's
private
the first
plane.
soul plane.
Where at first the pilot was like, we cool. Y'all can smoke till you get to such and such. Like that's the first time. So I'm up rolling. Everybody else. And Dame said something else to Bleak, and Bleak just stood there. And I don't remember if he was rolling, if he was praying.
Nah.
I don't remember what Bleak did.
I know exactly what it was, man.
What
because
was it?
I fucked with Dame. He was my guy. And it hurt me to see you just didn't see what was going on. And I was trying to tell him.
And what do you mean by that?
Like you know how when you try to, it's like I learned something, right? Put it like this. When a nigga fuck with a bitch, right? And he love her. Now you see Shorty fucking with the homie, she wildin'. And you tell him. Now he blame you. It's your fault they broke up.
Did he get the herpes lip?
Yeah.
And it's fucked up
like,
for him.
He don't even know. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You told him.
That was the same situation. Like, just without the bitch.
So you was trying to tell him.
That, my nigga, you moving too fast.
You wildin'.
Because I'm talking to the big homie. I'm hearing through the pipeline. You know, the streets talk. And I knew, I seen this day coming, my nigga. I told all of them, I had a conversation with each and every person.
Now, when you say that, who like?
I'm talking about Beans, Petey, the Gunners, Freeway, and Dame. And Dame, that conversation was on the plane. But I had a one-on-one with everybody and told niggas, man, I see this day coming.
He was trying to keep it together.
Yes.
No, he was like, that's why niggas don't fuck with you, Dame. Yo, for me?
That's what you heard? That's what he said?
Oh, I got more.
I
Like,
had to tell him because it like he was coming at me. And it's like, my nigga, I'm with you. I ain't
remember
even supposed to be on this plane.
That's exactly what
My
Bleak
nigga,
said.
I'm not supposed to be on this plane. I fuck with Hov and them. I could be home on they plane, chilling. I came because I fuck with you. But then you trying to come at me, and it's like, my nigga, when it's over, niggas ain't gonna fuck with you. Niggas don't fuck with you now. And man, come on, my G.
So you saw that.
He saw it coming.
You saw that where Dame is at right now. You saw that, like, then?
Not, I don't want to say right now, like, I saw that, like, yo, niggas gonna be in this situation, right? Because he going through a lot of personal, but what I mean, like, with the industry doors closed and the bridges burnt, I saw that. Because you talking to major power players. Remember, we was around.
He flipped on Randy Acker. Randy Acker's here somewhere.
Shout out Randy Acker.
Yeah, shout out Randy
you know
Acker.
I mean?
He's my man. Let's make some noise for Randy Acker.
You already know.
Gotta keep Jewish people around. Gotta keep Jewish people around.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, look at all the power players that was around. Leo, Kevin Lyles, Steve Stout. Like, everybody, them people are the people that's making it happen. Steve
Right.
Bartlesham, like they
Right.
pushing the
Steve Bartles,
buttons.
yep.
You know what I mean? Like they making it happen.
And you seen them flip on Steve Bartles as well.
Seen everything, my G.
Wow.
I've been around, man.
Wow.
Dame knew part of what was coming. The three founders had agreed to sell their remaining 50% stake in the Roc to Def Jam for $10 million, $3.3 million each. A clean exit. What he didn't know, what he found out at that dinner, was that Jay-Z had agreed to become the president of Def Jam.
When was the last time you talked with Jay-Z?
I don't want to talk about
No,
Jay-Z,
come
bro.
on, Dame.
Why?
Because we're having a full
You
conversation
know why
here.
it's not fair? Because he doesn't talk about it.
I hear
and
you.
every time I talk about the situation, number one, this is what you know. No matter what, I feel he robbed me. Period.
Okay.
And no matter what, I'm always gonna feel that way. So you're never gonna like if I hit somebody with some work and they run off, I forgive it. It don't bother me. But if you ask me about that person, I'm like, nah, he ran off.
Right.
So the way he goes about moves with my business, I'm not talking about nobody else's, but personally, the way he did me was dirty. The way he did Biggs was dirty. The way he did Roc-A-Fella was dirty. So he went, told L.A. Reid, I want Roc-A-Fella, I don't want Dame and Biggs down. And we was like, damn, I'd have left. I thought that was dirty. The shit he did with Rocawear, that was dirty. When he said he wasn't gonna be a part of it while I was selling it and devalued it, and then, I stepped away from it because I needed to go do my own thing, and all of a sudden they do a big deal like that. That was dirty. They put me, that was dirty. It was dirty business. And that's how I feel. So anytime you ask me, I'm not salty for life, right? But with him, yeah, I'm salty. That was whack. And look, there's no more Roc-A-Fella. There's Jim, there's Kanye, and who else?
Think about what that means. They sold the Roc to Def Jam. All three got their share. And then Jay-Z, as president of Def Jam, controlled everything the Roc had ever built. Every artist, every catalog, every deal. He went from co-owner of an independent label to executive of the parent company that now owned it.
Old Dame Dash, Jay-Z feud. That's been out for a long time. I know you spoke on it before, but where did this come from, and what is the status of it?
Well, if you see people like me and Dame, we'd be together every day, because our drive was for Roc-A-Fella. You know what I'm saying? So we ain't have anything else to do. So we'd be together every day. Every day, our waking day, we was worried about doing something else to make Roc-A-Fella grow. In the beginning, we'd jump in the van, we'd go to Maryland, we'd go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? And now we got our focus is everywhere, different things. There's Rocawear, there's state property, there's Armadale, there's so many different things, as well as things that we always want to do on our own.
And Jay refused to let Dame keep the Roc-A-Fella name. Then, every artist on the roster was given a choice: stay with Jay at Def Jam, or go with Dame. Kanye chose Jay. Memphis Bleek chose Jay. Most of the roster chose Jay. The few who went with Dame, their albums bombed. Dame's new venture collapsed.
One thing about you is, I don't care what anything happened, your relationship with Hov stays the same.
Cause I'm a true friend, man. We true friends like Tata, Juan, Emery, like I said, we all it's real friendship. Nobody pocket watching.
Right.
I don't care, Hov, a billionaire. I don't care you're 100 million, a dollar. I'ma still call you and be like, yo, what up? You right, yo. That verse is whack.
Months later, Dame and Jay were still connected through Rocawear. Both held stakes. Then came a meeting, not at the Rocawear offices, at a hotel room. Dame asked why they were meeting at a hotel. The answer:
I remember reading an article where you said something along the lines of wanting Rocawear in high-end department stores, but the partners wanted to go in a different direction. Can you talk a little bit about Rocawear and what happened?
I mean, I started Rocawear, and it became a volume brand, and the business model was more or less off price. We had a margin at the indie level, but the only way I felt that there could be longevity in it, because it was so logo driven, was to approach it like Ralph Lauren. And he had a purple label. And I felt like we needed something that was for perception, something that people could buy into that they couldn't afford. So I wanted to be in high-end stores just for perception, so that people would still buy things at the independent level. And I also wanted to empower other companies. That's why I started Rachel Roy and Ryan Kenny. I had Charlotte Bronson, Estate Property. I wanted to be Rocawear to turn into a company that owned other companies. And that just wasn't their vision at the time. I think they would probably approach it different now.
Right.
Especially with the success of Rachel Roy. And the fact that Rocawear has been sold twice already. you know, and it doesn't really exist as a relevant streetwear brand, that they would have probably approached it different.
Would you wear it?
Right now?
Yeah.
If I wanted to wear it, I would. Would you wear it? Nah. Yeah, so, you know, when was the last time you would have worn it?
When it was cracking, when it was popping.
How long ago was that?
Shit.
Probably like the year I sold it, probably. Yeah. I mean, the way I got out of it. Yeah, I felt like it was starting to compromise. It wasn't reflective of me anymore, so I sold my interest in Rocawear so that I can invest in something that was more reflective of my taste, which was Rachel Roy. And instead of investing in a man all day, I preferred to invest in a woman. You know what I'm saying? A woman that I love. That was the mother of my children. It made more sense. And it provided a better atmosphere for my children. So it went from hip hop to just complete fashion. And my world turned into a completely different world, you know. It became, you know, fashion shows, but because I was in the business and, you know, just a different environment altogether. Right. And I wasn't there for my celebrity. I was there maybe because I was a celebrity, I was there, but my purpose of being there was the business of it all. So I didn't feel like I was doing something corny. Like, if I just hang out in the industry and I'm not in it, I think that's corny. Like, I don't really go to festivals unless I have some product in that festival. Right. I'm not going just to hang out and make connections. I think that's not me.
Right. That's not the way you network.
Right. So Rocawear, I just kind of outgrew it. You know, again, it wasn't reflective of me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want any more attachment to it. You know, so I sold my interest in it to do other things. So I really sold my interest in Rocawear so I could be completely independent. I was like, I'm gonna take all that money, which I did, and invested in everything that I believe in. And no one could tell me nothing and I have to argue about it. And since then, my life has been really happy. Despite what you may hear someone else say, like you've seen me, I've been very relaxed the last couple of years because I don't have to argue with anybody. When you're putting up the money, you don't have to argue at all. And it's a lot of exposure, but, you know, I think independence is priceless. Not everybody feels that way. And, you know, I have to learn not to judge people for their perspectives. But I just know it's not good for me. And I know what we have the ability to do. And that's the reason why I approach things the way I do.
By the end of that meeting, Dame was out of Rocawear. Reported deal, $22 million. Cash he walked out with, reportedly $7 million. And just months before that Christmas Eve dinner, Dame was on camera saying this.
Done has made everyone around me a king. Kanye's a king. Jay's a king. Kevin Hart's a king. Lee Daniels, king. No matter what, I feel he robbed me, period.
Okay.
And no matter what, I'm always going to feel that way. So you're never going to, like if I hit somebody with some work and they run off, I forgive it. It don't bother me. But if you ask me about that person, I'm like, nah, he ran off.
Right.
So the way he goes about moves with my business, I'm not talking about nobody else's, but personally, the way he did me was dirty. The way he did Biggs was dirty. The way he did Roc-A-Fella was dirty. So he went, told L.A. Reid, I want Roc-A-Fella. I don't want Dame and Biggs down. And we was like, damn, I'd have left. And when I had the conversation, he said, yo, I want to look like a boss. I can't look like a boss around you. I thought that was dirty. The shit he did with Rocawear, that was dirty. When he said he wasn't going to be a part of it while I was selling it and devalued it. And then, you know, I stepped away from it because I needed to go do my own thing. Then all of a sudden they do a big deal like that. That was dirty. And look, there's no more Roc-A-Fella. It's just him. Where's Roc-A-Fella? The shit he did with Rocawear, that was dirty.
You remember when Jay was wearing them dress shirts all the time? So when you order, you have to order like a year ahead of time. And then it went out of style and we ended up with dead stock and having to sell it off price. We lost. And now it's devaluing the company. I'm investing in different brands and Rocawear be the umbrella, but they did not understand that. So we taking losses there because we starting companies. We took the losses with the dress shirts. So now it's going down and I'm arguing with them and I'm like, yo, sell my interest, man. I just want to go. We were about to sell it to Tommy Hilfiger for like, $450 million. So I'd have walked away with like $40 million. Right before we closed, your man makes an announcement that he's launching another brand. That's Doc Carter. So it devalued the brand and they left. Jay's not a part of it. We don't want it. Every time we be about to sell it, he would do that would devalue it and it seemed like it was intentional. Why do you keep doing that? Obviously, you don't want me to get no money.
Fast forward, Dame Dash owes $25 million. Back taxes, child support, civil judgments. His last significant asset, his 1/3 stake in Roc-A-Fella Records, the company that holds the master rights to Reasonable Doubt.
Dame Dash owes a lot of money. He owes New York City $8.7 million in unpaid taxes.
Yikes.
I'm going to do a little breakdown here because it gets really steep. There's a lot of money owed to different people. So you guys know that Dame Dash right now is auctioning his part of Roc-A-Fella, which is the big thing in that is his stake in Reasonable Doubt. So that has been like a big back and forth conversation because people are trying to figure out, you know, since Biggs and Jay-Z are a part of the ownership as well, and you have to like vote on things in order to be able to use it, is it even worth buying the stake in Roc-A-Fella? So Dame has been saying it is. It's a piece of history. You get chains with it as well.
Right.
All this stuff. Billboard has done a story where they basically are saying that a lot of the majority of the money from, not even majority, all of the money from the auction will go to money that is owed by Dame Dash to several different entities. There is $8.7 million in unpaid taxes. There is $832,000 that he owes to a guy named Josh Weber. That's the guy that he was going back and forth with in court over the Dear Frank movie. There is $145,000 in unpaid child support between two women that he has kids with. Basically, what is going to happen is at some point, once the auction and everything is done, child support is going to come in and take their money first because Dame Dash owes a total of $145,096 in unpaid child support.
Lord,
yes. So then after that, the money's going to filter to everybody else. And again, he's looking at, they're saying like he could receive money from whatever is left. I don't know what's going to be left. I guess it all depends on what the auction goes for.
The thing is, they gotta understand what the value of is, and I don't know, but you gotta, you know, what's the value of that Roc-A-Fella, 33% of that Roc-A-Fella? What entities are owned under that? I know Jay-Z is supposed to get ownership back after 35 years. I don't know if that's true or not. So it's just, figuring out what the value of is, and any businessman will figure out what the value is to see if it's a great investment or not. You know,
these are the things that they don't tell you, or maybe we don't talk about enough when we have conversations about being an entrepreneur and being your own boss. Because when you're your own boss, you have to be on top of all these things. Like, this is why I be warning a lot of these folks who be bragging about being their own boss and making their own money via.
You got to get an accountant. You got to get a team and make sure that you do what you're supposed to do with your money.
Yeah.
And I tell everybody all the time, don't laugh, learn. Like,
that's right.
It can happen to any one of us at any given time for not knowing the possible knowledge, and owing that much money is a stressor.
As we all know, 1/3 of Roc-A-Fella Inc., which owns Reasonable Doubt, is for sale. And I've gotten a lot of calls, a lot of offers. I don't know if people are hummer stunting, or not. We'll see who shows up. But I definitely got some very healthy offers, and I appreciate those. And, obviously, if someone's trying to hate on the price or trying to devalue it, it would be because they want to buy it, like a first right of refusal. So if you do want to buy 1/3 of Roc-A-Fella Inc., you are going to have to bring some bread. And anything over $10 million, I'm going to sweeten the pot. You get an original Roc-A-Fella chain from off my neck. So, I say, because I was the only one that gave out Roc-A-Fella chains when Roc-A-Fella really existed. If I don't give you the chain, it's not a legit Roc-A-Fella chain. You get one of these, this is legit. This is the old school one.
The auction is set. Manhattan Courthouse, open to the public. Minimum bid, $1.2 million. This is Jay-Z's debut album, one of the most critically acclaimed records in hip-hop history, still generating revenue, still culturally significant in 2024. On the day of the auction, nobody showed up.
Because no one showed up. It didn't even get market value. Now, that could be because of, all that bullshit that they put in the newspaper. But they didn't even buy it. Now, he supposed to have it. The floor was $3 million. So why didn't he buy it? If he, I just don't understand the play. Jay didn't even make a bid. He didn't even want his own shit. He didn't think it was worth $3 million. He himself did not want to bid $3 million on that shit because that was the floor. A billionaire, suppose. Yeah. So the auction happened yesterday, and basically no one showed up. Only Jay's lawyers, the state, and, the crew that was initially suing me. I didn't go. It was my son's birthday. And like I said, to be honest, I just wanted this thing to be done. I think people really don't understand that from that third of Reasonable Doubt for the last
over 10, 15 years, I wasn't receiving any royalties, you know? And the reason why was because, you know, I had found some money that they didn't tell me about, and, you know, I took it because I knew that I would never get paid. There was no intention of me ever getting paid. And I don't feel like playing over that asset. You know, what I wanted to do was put everything pause in my rear view and do everything new. But, you know, at some point when you know people are just taking from you boldly, when you internalize that, it does at some point bother you. And in my brain, I'm like, yo, I just want to get rid of this. You know, I just want to move on. I don't want to have any reasons to have to bring anyone up that's not in my life every day that was in my past. But, you know, I don't know if you understand how it feels to know that, you know, and to be honest, when I look at the books, you know, I was only supposed to be getting about $120,000 a year. But that's, you know, that's like $8,000 a month, $10,000 a month. I wasn't seeing that at all. And then to have to go to court with somebody for it means you have to spend money on lawyers to go get shortbread. And then, of course, because of people doing stupid narratives and, you know, people that live vicariously through other people, pause, I would say, I don't even want to say it, you know, just girls that are men that act like girls that talk about or root for another man as if, either way, I'm not even okay to talk like, but, you know, it's a fight that nobody feels like dealing with when you're building new things. Like fighting, you have to focus or else you're going to lose. And when you're doing 20 different things and paying for 20 different things, you don't really feel like focusing on your past all day, you know? And I don't want people to think my career is coming out here and doing this podcast and, you know, I have to deal with everything and the misconceptions and people trying to fuck with my reputation. And have to, you know, because I don't have a team of people or lawyers to speak for me all day or bots to put a fake narrative out there. And I don't call TMZ and Charlemagne the God and all that to tell them the narrative. I don't do any of those things. I just come outside when I got to protect my word. And people be lying. And it just, again, bugs me out. You know, why everyone on that side wants to paint this narrative that I'm doing so much struggling when I'm just building. Yeah, I'm struggling because I'm fighting for my independent freedom. I'm paying for it. I'm paying not to have to hang out with a certain crowd. Honestly, I would rather be broke than have to hang out with those people. I'd rather pay for it. I'd rather use all my money, every dollar I make, so that I could spend all my time with my family. But any old way, no one showed up. And the state made a bid for it of $1 million. And that's really what it was worth. So if I'm making $120,000 a year, and let's say at a 10 times multiple, that's what usually things are bought for, it'd be worth like 1.2. Everyone, I think, not everyone, what this really taught me was that in the world, homie isn't as big as he portrayed. You know, I thought more people would be interested in buying it because of the art value of it. And that's the only thing I was selling. Because of how everyone portrays they love this dude, if they really loved him like that, I thought some collector like the Wu-Tang thing, like Wu-Tang is loved. People really value them a certain way. When people buy a piece of a piece of vinyl that no one can have for, you know, $25 million, that's love. There was no love. I thought people would at least show up. No one even showed up. So I'm like, wow. They're really portraying themselves to be a lot bigger pause than they are. Because no one showed up. It didn't even get market value. Now, that could be because of, you know, all that bullshit that they put in the newspaper. But they didn't even buy it. Now, he's supposed to have it. The floor was $3 million. So why didn't he buy it? If he, I just don't understand the play. They now have the state, for now, I guess, as a partner. The people that originally were suing me for defamation, the people that, in my mind, pretended that they directed a movie that I directed and, did some cute shit and did a trial in New York, even though it all happened in LA, so I couldn't fly all the witnesses down. And also knowing at the time I had 2 warrants. And, I guess allegedly, I just feel like they got a crew of people together and lied. But those people that brought this whole auction in the first place, as of right now, they don't make a fucking dollar. Then why did they do it? They did all of this not to make a dollar? And this shit has been going on for like 10 years. So at some point, it has to become obsession to chase one man around for 10 years for under $1 million. I mean, I'm just thinking it, like, why are people so obsessed? Why are people, like, it's been 20 years and the same group of people have been trying to put the same narrative out and been so scared that I get some real money on my own. Like, why is that so scary to everybody? If I get my own money my way and I'm not, honestly, I don't want none of y'all block. I don't want to be around y'all. This is what I'm paying for, not to have to be around y'all. This is my choice. Like, just don't get mad. It just feels like everyone's mad because I don't want to pause play with them. You know what I'm saying? I just don't. I don't want to be around none of that weirdo shit. I don't want to be around I don't want to be up under somebody my whole life. I'm a man. A man should never want to be up under another man their whole life. You gotta get sick of seeing a nigga or hearing a nigga and all that shit. Like, I know what it's like to be around an artist. Artists don't show up on time. Artists are very frustrating. You have to move based on how they feel. And as a man, I can't do that with how's he feel today? Can we talk to him today? Was he gonna show up today? Or don't ask him that. Or ask him at this time. I can't do that. And that's what was happening at Roc-A-Fella. Like, I'm not throwing rose petals when another man walks. And that's what I see when I see like a Steve Stout or all these other dudes always defending this person all the time or trying to fuck with me. Y'all throwing rose petals. Y'all men. Men don't do that. I can't fight like that. And it's crazy because, and again, this is the last time. I'm not going through this shit no more. I'm giving y'all the explanation. The auction is over and it's everything new. And I know everyone, or the bots or the stupid narrative that you always talking about, nigga, this was my auction. This is my life. They're the problem right now, so I'm speaking on it. But when I did run into Jay, when my daughter was 15 and wanted to go to his concert in LA, I went and he had just done that record and he was like, Dame made me and Cam made me. And I was like, yo, what was all that about? Dame made me. He said, yo, I was fronting on you. And I said, oh, we play like that? We could do that? He said, yeah. I was like, bet. Call Cam. I was like, yo, we could play like that. Pause. Like, he's down. So, like, when that man says my name in records and them shits play all day, but I'm not a rapper. So the way that I could at least, make sure that the narrative is correct, I got to speak on it. But no one says anything when people put my name in their records. But I never talked about that conversation we had. It's not even nothing that's supposed to bother. I was like, bet, because I like this snap. But fucking with my money and shit, I just don't get that part.
Jay-Z, who publicly claims he owns Reasonable Doubt outright, who built his brand around owning his masters, estimated net worth over $1 billion, did not place a single bid. He has never explained why. Dame's film company sold at a separate auction around the same time, winning bid $100.50. He filed for bankruptcy in 2025. Now pull back. 3 men built Roc-A-Fella from nothing. Jay-Z, a billionaire. Roc Nation, music, sports, film, real estate. One of the most powerful people in entertainment on earth. Dame Dash, $25 million in debt. Bankruptcy, $4,000. Beanie Sigel, 2 prison sentences. A blocked deal. Watching from outside. Is this a story about a villain? I'm not here to tell you that. Jay-Z made business decisions, hard, strategic ones. That's not illegal. That's not even unusual. But what is unusual is how consistent the pattern is.
People who you started your life off with and what success does to them. People look at you strange saying you changed, like you worked that hard to stay the same. Like you're doing all this for a reason. And what happens most of the time, people change. People change around you because they start treating you different because of your success. So you are changing. You don't change who you are, the core of who you are, the things you believe, the things you love, and the things you die for, and your principles. You don't change that, but you're going to change who you are. You're going to change. You know, you can't do the same things that you can't hang on the corner. Some people may not be comfortable with that. And then it deals with the other side of success, how people look at you when you're successful. Media medals, people sue you, settle. Every step you take, they remind you get. So no matter how far you are, you still have that stigma on you of where you come from when you walk inside the door. Even if you have a tuxedo on, it's like, oh yeah, that's the guy who used to be this and did that. Most kings get their head cut off. I mean, in war, battle, and in life. At the end of the day, you've achieved everything you want. You've made it to the top of the throne. And at the end of the day, you just get your head cut off.
Every exit from the Roc follows the same shape. Jay-Z stays. Everything shifts around him. Not with violence, not with threats, with contracts, with label politics, with who gets to keep the name and who doesn't, with who the president of Def Jam decides to release and who he holds. Dame said it on record, consistently, for years.
Listen, if you ask anyone in the industry, it's a common knowledge that Jay ain't. You know what I'm saying?
Define
like,
for our audience.
He's
here.
about the bag. You
Right.
know, we all know that. It's about he's self-preserving, period. Like, you know, it's just that the people he does it to don't have like Beyonce next to him. They don't have that kind of a power. But, you know, this dude here, everyone's looking. So I just think he kind of like, you know, like he used to do that. He like, he's like, it's not even like a secret. You know, he do that to me with girls. Like, you know, he'll be like, you know, I'll be talking to a chick and I'll be like, yo, she asked me to do this, that, and the third. And he'd be like, I wouldn't do it. And then the next day he's wifed her. And I'd be like, oh, that's some funny.
Right.
You know what you're dealing with when you deal with Jay. You know, Jermaine Dupri, I feel like, you know, for me to talk, it's hard because I can't completely be objective, but it's the news of today. But I just think if you look under the hood, all the answers will reveal themselves. There's always been a pattern with that dude. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Y'all know what it is. It's just everyone always forgives him.
Yeah.
You know, he's like Trump in that way. So he could do anything, say anything, you know, and you know, look at it. And everyone goes with, I guess, they just go with the popular sometimes, you know. But again, it always reveals itself in some way. It's what he does. We're used to it. He just did it at a bigger level. Who cares? I think, you know, it is what it is. If y'all choose to believe, that's on y'all. I don't care about a deal. Like I said, if I'm gonna hear about a deal because I'm a businessman, my boss thoughts are, what's the deal? And what could the deal be? So I'm like, what is he like producing the Super Bowl? Is he DJing? Like, what is it? Are they making albums? Are they becoming a record company? Like, what the is the deal?
But I mean, the whole conversation is
What
about
is the deal?
loyalty to
Listen,
Kaepernick.
you're talking at a different vibration.
Right.
Business, because that's all I care about. What's the deal?
That's all you care about?
In this moment, and I know what Jay does, so I'm not surprised. Like, it's not hard to close a deal when you walk in the room with Beyonce. You could close a deal. You understand what I'm saying? Like, she's the biggest firepower in that moment. It's easy. It was more friendship for me and money for him. And I always felt that, but I ignored it a little. Because I didn't think they could happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, he would never do that. But he did things that I thought he would never do. So Roc-A-Fella would probably still exist right now.
Jay-Z's response to all of it has been the same as his response to 50 Cent on that stage at the Roots picnic: silence. Some people call that power. Some people call that guilt. Some people call that restraint. Whatever you call it, you now have the full story. What you do with that is for you to decide. If this is your first time on the channel, please subscribe. We take a closer look into stories like this. And if you want to understand why Jay-Z gave 50 Cent complete silence on that Roots picnic stage, Cam broke that down in detail. That video is on your screen right now. Watch them back to back. The full picture only makes sense when you see both sides.
You know, coming up, I always believed in the way you live your life, you affect the outcome of your life, you know, karma and everything. So I just want to be remembered as a very honest and straight up guy. You know, I'm pretty much a mirror. You know, if someone's cool with me, like energies attract, right? You give off energy, you get that energy back. So just a person that was of the utmost integrity, you know, honest, very hardworking, and someone who really cared about the culture. Because at the end of the day, I mean, that's what I'm pushing everyone for. Because this thing right here, this music thing is a thing that I don't think everyone figured into the equation, right? Because, you know, you have projects and you have, you know, certain people sectioned off in certain areas, and you have better schools here and worse schools here. And, you know, this whole thing was like a chessboard again. This whole thing was set out a certain way. And then rap music came and it turned everything around.